All right, everybody, you know what time it is. The Real Talk Sports Show is coming up right now. Everyone, and welcome to the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, the Minister Jonathan Simmons, and we're very thankful to all those of you who are joining us, watching us here on all platforms. And we are glad to say we're back on Roku TV via Tiki Live and the Phoenix Entertainment Group broadcasting you live now on Roku, so you can watch on the big screen. See how big my head is? So you can do that now. And of course, always big shout out to those of you watching us on the regular Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitter TV, and Twitch. Appreciate each and every one of you. Well, every time we do this show, we bring on one of the most beautiful women in sports talk radio or TV. She is simply known as the Queen. Miss Tree Dolman is in the building.
Hey, Jonathan. Hi, everybody.
What's going on, Tree?
Nothing much. What's going on with you?
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A little warm. As you can see, I have the sports reporter tie loose on the neck, glasses on. I got my official gear on. But yeah, just great. Had a couple of days off. How was your 4th of July weekend?
It was nice. I got some work done, relaxed. It was pretty good. How about yours?
Yeah, so got a little work done. Actually went around. I'm not the neatest person in the world. My daughter might be listening. She knows the truth. So I actually went and cleaned my house. I have a little, it's almost like a tree in my house. It's just, I was told it was a plant. This thing is ginormous. It's up to the ceiling of my house. Anyway, it sheds. So I had to get in there and get behind there, clean all that stuff up. And then, just kind of hung out and just relaxed the whole rest of the weekend. But I did go to something pretty cool here right down the road in Jonesboro, representing WIGO, pace setter 1570. They had this like Motown review, and they had a Michael Jackson imitator. Pretty darn good.
Cool.
Darn good. Had a good time doing that. Well, the other thing, guys, when you bring on the Queen, we also bring on the champion. He's not one, but a two-time Super Bowl champion. He also is a member of the Fort Valley State Sports Hall of Fame. And he likes to work that thing. The one and only Tyrone Poole is back in the building.
Beat it.
Bro,
beat it. Hey. Hey, I just say that because you said you have Michael Jackson look-alike. So
yeah, man. I mean, the guy was off the chain, bro.
Yeah.
He did a good job. I give him credit.
Did he do Thriller? This is Thriller.
He did the whole. That guy. I'm surprised he's still alive, bro, because he sweated all through his clothes. He didn't take no water break. He just was on the move. So, again, big kudos to him.
Hey, Tree, how you doing?
Doing all right. How you doing, Tyrone?
Doing good, Queen. Doing good, Queen. So officially, how you doing, Jonathan? Hello, everybody. Those that are watching and listening, welcome to Real Talk Sports.
That's right. Well, I'm gonna try to change my mic here, see if we can. My sound any better? Do I have a little crackling noise? What do I got going on over here?
Wow. Yeah. I stay here crackling every now and then, but you sound fine.
If I can make an adjustment, I might have to go without the headset here for a second. Let's see.
Oh, you went back down. You made it go back. Yeah, take that pill. Keep taking that pill that you're taking right there. You sound strong.
I got to make it do what it do. My headphones are acting a little bulky. I can see that, so we'll try to make it do what we can do. We still got any crackling, or we got a good sound?
Got you good.
Good sound. Okay, that's all
I
I need
hear
to know.
crackling.
You hear crackling. Teresa, I hear some crackling. I'll tell you what, I'm going to let you guys kind of carry on for a second.
I don't hear crackling now.
No crackling now?
No.
Praise the Lord. Maybe I need to lean back from the microphone like this. Is that better?
I see what Tree is hearing. It's like an echo, like towards the end after you finish talking or something like that.
Okay.
Tree's here. Yeah.
All right. We'll try to get that fixed. Well, while we're trying to fix that, we're going to go here and talk about something that Tree definitely likes to talk about. WNBA and the Dream Update. Dun, 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 dun.
Da, 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 da. And when are you putting their logo at the top?
Uh-oh. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Okay,
I'm just saying.
Wow.
We're over halfway with the season. I still don't see their logo at the top. But all right, so let's give an update to our Atlanta Dream. Well, right now the Atlanta Dream are currently sitting in 4th place in the East. They have a record of 10-11. They're on a 2-game winning streak. They won against the New York Liberty, and they beat the Storm at home, which was pretty awesome. I did love that they honored Sue Bird because this is her last season playing in the WNBA. I thought it was really nice of them to honor her on our court because we know she's going to get honored on her own home court. But for the Atlanta Dream to do that here, it really just showed how much they really value WNBA and great basketball players, regardless of what team they play for. And so we know that we've had a lot of players out with injuries. I am so happy to say that we pretty much have our whole team back. There's only one player that's out injured. And so we are back. Tiffany Hayes is back. Yay. And when she came back killing like she always does. She scored 21 points. She had 4 from 6 from the 3. And she had 3 rebounds. Way to come back when you've been missing. And she's back into the starting lineup. So our starters, we have Erica Wheeler, phenomenal player, Tiffany Hayes, Ryan Howard, who is our top scorer, and we have Monique Billings, who is our top rebounder. And then we have Cheyenne Parker, who is also one of our top scorers and a fellow alum of Middle Tennessee. So got to give Cheyenne a shout out. But the Dream are playing really, really well. They're just really playing great defense. We are leading the WNBA in steals. So teams know the Atlanta Dream, they're going to play great defense. They're going to get some steals and turn those points into offensive points from those steals. And like I said, right now we're sitting in 4th place behind the Washington Mystics. We actually play the Washington Mystics here at home tomorrow. So we'll see what we can do there. And go for the Dream. I mean, the Dream are playing phenomenal. And the other day they had a sellout game. So let's give them a big shout out because that's very impressive for them to have a game that's sold out. And everybody's running with the Dream. So you run with the Dream too. Make sure you check them out.
Yeah, and you know the great thing, Tree, like you're saying, the Dream playing outstanding basketball. You know what a difference a year makes.
Yes.
Job. You know, management, ownership, you know, Larry, Suzanne, Renee, you know, great job. And, you know, you look at Dan, the general manager, you guys are really putting it to work. And when I look at the last 2 games, what I'm excited about, the Atlanta Dream, if they can keep this going, if they can reproduce continuously what they've been doing the last 2 games, they are averaging the last 2 games, scoring 91 over 90 points a game. Defensively, 70, not even giving up 80 points in those 2 wins. So if they can continue that, and I'm telling you, they're going to do some wonderful things. And with the Mystic coming in, and what did we say last week? The top 8 teams in the
top 8 goes to the playoffs.
So they're sitting in 4th, the Mystics sitting in 3. So yeah, if you are an Atlanta Dream basketball fan, this is what you have been dreaming about. This is what dreams are all about right here. So you get opportunity to play the Mystics coming up, and yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be good. So yeah, kudos to the Atlanta Dream. Yeah.
It's gonna be a good one because we just lost to the Washington Mystics on their court, and so now we're playing them here on our court. So you know the Atlanta Dream, they come in with a vengeance. They're not taking this one lightly. They definitely want to win this game and protect home court.
Yep. Let's go Dream. That's what we've been dreaming about. Oh, been dreaming about it.
Right. Put them to sleep.
So it's going to be wonderful. So I guess Jonathan's still hanging around, but no, when you look at the rest of the WNBA, again, the Storm, they were supposed to be a pretty good team. And, and this is what you really want, Tree. This is what you really want. When you're coming off of a season that was lackluster, you want to make sure that you put your stamp on the upcoming season. So when you play teams like the Storm, the Mystic, like you said, you had a problem with them, lost to them, but now you get an opportunity for revenge, kind of like James Brown. Payback. Got to get back. I need some get back. So that's a song they need to play when the Dream play the Mystic. I'm telling you, play that song, whoever is in charge of the music. Go find that James Brown, Payback. It's payback time, Dream. Payback.
Yeah, I think the Mystics have been their foil for a minute. So yeah, we want to see a little get back. Hopefully my microphone is not acting balky now. I hope. Is it any better?
No, it's still, it sounds, I don't know, it sounds like you're moving. So maybe if you don't move when you talk, then maybe you'll be fine. Maybe it sounds like it's rubbing against your shirt or something. I don't know, it's weird.
But we can hear you. We can hear you.
Just a little echo at the end. All right, we'll try to get this taken care of before the night is over. Let's go to social media. I'm sure Todd is taking some shots. He says, yep, there it is. He says, preacher quit. There we go. Oh, man, Todd, it's all right. It's all right. It's okay. It's all right. We're good. All right. So one of the things we're going to talk about here tonight is actually a pretty cool thing here in the NHL. We don't talk much hockey, but I thought this was a pretty good headline here in sports. NHL has, for the first time, they now have a black GM. The San Jose Sharks have hired Mike Greer, actually the former player for them, to be the first black general manager in NHL history. What do you guys think about that? Tree, I'll go to you first.
You say you're coming to me first?
Yes.
Oh, I think it's great that he's the first, and hopefully he's not the last. And listening to him, he's definitely very passionate about it and doing things the right way. And he played for the organization, so congratulations. I think it's a wonderful hire.
And where is he from, Tree?
Is he from Detroit? I don't know.
Detroit, baby.
Oh, he is from Detroit. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I had no clue. I don't watch a lot of hockey. Did I say a lot? I don't watch hockey unless my Red Wings are doing something. So, my Red Wings haven't been playing very well. So I haven't been watching the playoffs and all of that. But go hockey, But yeah, I didn't know he's from Detroit. That's awesome.
He's from Detroit. Yes, we're playing the league for about 14 years. What do you think about first black GM out in San Jose?
Really, Mike is having an opportunity to do something great, but at the end of the day, the job that he has to manage, and I'm pretty sure you ask him, he's going to say, it's good to be sitting in that position amongst, your peers. You don't see a lot of people such as yourself, but still at the end of the day, he has a job to perform. So he can't get caught up in the emotions of being the first black GM. So he has to still go and perform his duties. So he can't get emotional. He still got to use his head to do the right things. And then if he continue to do that, then of course more doors are going to open up. But he can't allow this to be an emotional situation. He just got to make sure he just continue to do his job. As they say in New England, just do your job. So Mike Greer, just continue to do your job. But good luck.
And Tyrone, must be something in the DNA because his brother is actually the GM over for the Miami Dolphins. So it must be something to love.
Hey, sounds good to me. I'll take it.
Amen. Look, guys, we're going to take a quick little break here. You're watching, listening, and tuning into the Real Talk Sports Show. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Please don't go nowhere. Thank you. We'll be back.
Did you know that Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, Georgia also has Lincoln? Over 35 years of using the Vigil Touch to provide excellent customer service, works hand in hand with the Lincoln Motor Company to provide a luxurious and seamless way to acquire your next luxury vehicle. Lincoln has an array of full-service complimentary owner benefits. These benefits include hospitality partnerships, service pickup and delivery, all which can be accessed through the Lincoln Way app. You can even contact the 24/7 concierge to have someone assist you. Come and see our great inventory of new and pre-owned Lincolns today. Call 364-7345 to make an appointment with one of our brand champions or shop 24/7 online at allenvisuallincoln.net.
All right. Hopefully, you guys can hear me better now. I hope.
Yes, I can actually
Praise
hear
the
you.
Lord.
I couldn't hear you at all. Now I can actually hear you. Yay!
Amen. Okay, we're gonna go naked. We're gonna go without the headset, without any of that stuff, and we'll just do it. Sometimes, guys, just like it gets real hot outside, you got to take some of the clothes off. So we're gonna strip all these old wires off, and that's it. We're here. Again, we're thankful that the bugs are out the machine. We can hear you guys loud and clear, and you can hear me loud and clear here on the Real Talk Sports Show. And thank you for all of you who've been watching on social media saying, "Preacher, are you in the squawk box?" I'm out of there now. Amen. Amen. Let's go to our topics again. What we're covering here tonight on the Real Talk Sports Show. We have already talked about some of the items already. And let's see what else we have in the chamber to speak about. That's part two. Let's go to part one. Bam. Okay, so NBA, big happenings with free agency, all kinds of stuff going on. Rudy Gobert has been traded, a massive deal with the Timberwolves. Two big men, can they play together? The Hawks, wheeling and dealing. Now they got Trae Young and DeJounte Murray in the backcourt. Do they have the best young backcourt in the NBA? We already talked about Mike Greer. So, all right, guys, what do you think? The Hawks have made a major move. Everybody been talking for years. My man right there, Tyronn Poole, said, hey, there has to be a Robin to the Batman. And it looks like they got a bad man. DeJounte Murray coming in an all-star from San Antonio. Tree, what do you think about this move?
I mean, I think it's a great pickup for the Atlanta Hawks. I can't wait to see how they gel and play together, because if they can actually build that rapport and get great chemistry together, I think it's going to be something phenomenal with the Hawks.
Let's go to Mr. Tyronn Poole. Tyronn, what do you think about the Hawks making this move to bring in another all-star guard to join up with Trae Young?
Well, again, my thing is chemistry. I can compare, sports. I can use football. I can use baseball. Just because you have a talented team doesn't mean that you're going to win. Okay. And again, I always go back to the Oakland Raiders back in the day when they were the Oakland Raiders. Now they're Las Vegas Raiders, but they were probably the most talented team in the NFL as far as speed and quickness and all that. But that stuff don't mean nothing if you don't have a game plan, if you can't play well, if you don't have the right coach that can coach the system, that can coach the race car, drive the race car. We're going to talk about NASCAR, right? We're going to talk about that at some point. But you can have the car that can win the race, but if you don't have the right driver who know how to drive that car, you just wasting gasoline. So again, you got to have the right coach with the right mindset. I do believe they do have the right coach. Now the coach just got to create the roadmap, and Nate just got to let the guys know this is where we're going. And then the scoreboard. I think every player has to understand you got to score points, you got to get rebounds, offense, defensive rebounds, you got to get assists, you got to get steals, you got to manage the clock correctly. So it ain't just about scoring. It ain't about just having two people in the back of the court that can shoot the ball. No, you still got to manage the game. You still got to understand the situations. And then once you do all that, sometimes you got to sound like a broken record. When I say sound like a broken record, that was a little theme. And I do believe that psychologically, you can actually will yourself to win. You can create a habit in your locker room that you just will yourself to win. Now, what I mean by that is in New England, okay, every time we won a game, I'm going to talk about New England and Denver real quickly. In New England, every time we won a game, we come up, Bill Belichick would say what he got to say about the game, this and that, and then we all come together as a player. And then Teddy Bruschi, he actually started all this off. He would say, how do we feel about another victory? And we all say, oh, yeah. And then we, go off and do what we got to do. So we're creating, it sounded like a broken record, but it's creating psychologically in our head that we can't lose. Now I go right over to Denver real quick. Mike Shanahan, sounded like a broken record. You're creating a culture, mindset. Every time we won on Sunday, he would give us Victory Monday. So you know what that did? That pushed guys, man, to push other guys to say, hey, not only you messing with my money, but you messing with my Monday. So you better get yourself in gear or you got to come see me. So this is the culture that I believe wins games. That's why Michael Jordan, people didn't like Mike. Because Mike was like, man, you look here, you messing with my money. So again, that's just what I think. But it's good that they're making trades, but it don't mean nothing if you don't put it together and do the right things.
I like that sound of the Victory Money. That's right. Even a little something, a little extra.
That's what we're talking about.
I'm married, man. That hideaway money. So I bet your mama never knew about that check. Everybody kept quiet. Shh, don't say nothing, man. You don't tell yours, I don't tell mine. Shh. I'm just saying, that's how we do sometimes. You know, that money gets squirreled away off to another little portion. I mean, can we bring on the big check? But something off to the side. But anyway, so I think it's going to be, it has potential to be epic. You know, I'm going back, I'm old. I'm going back in the day. The Knicks had won some championships, but they kind of had tapered off a little bit. They felt the competition was a little stiffer. So they did something that was highly unusual. They brought together two all-star guards who basically ran their team. They paired up with the legendary Walt Frazier with Earl of Pearl Monroe. And people wondered, are there going to be enough basketballs for them to go around? It took them about a year to get settled, and the next year they won an NBA title with those two guys at the helm. So I think what's going to happen with Trey is, you talked about defense. One of the things that this guy, Murray, is very good at, he's a good defensive player. The other thing, too, is that it now gives you a guard that has some just ginormous wingspan. I think his wingspan is like that of a guy like 6'8" or 6'10". So he's going to bring to the table some scoring, obviously, but he's going to bring some good defense, and he's going to take pressure off of Trey to constantly have to handle the ball to make the Hawk offense work. And you've now got another guy who can facilitate, another guy that can get you 6-7 assists a game, maybe more. And I think it's going to be great. But the big key is, can Mr. Nate put it all together and make it work? Let's go to social media. Our man Todd, as always, he's never happy. He says, I can get it up here. He talked about they gave up too much, set the franchise back years. Todd, I don't know what you're thinking, bro, but I mean, this team is young. Their window to operate is right now. So I'm like, hey, man, go for the gusto. You give us some draft picks. Here's the bottom line. If you're a good team, where are you going to draft them anyway? 22, 21, 20? Those picks haven't panned out that well, so no, I think it's a great move. I think that it's going to be they're going to be a special team next year.
Let me say this too. I believe in energy too. Energy. Again, culture. Everybody got to work together. I believe in straight line energy. Okay, straight line energy. I'm gonna tell you what I mean. Again, I'm gonna take basketball. I'm gonna take basketball. I'm gonna take football, and let you see what I mean by straight line energy. When you have this straight line energy, say on defense, okay, straight line energy. You got a defensive lineman that can ball out. You got a linebacker that can ball out, and usually you have a safety that can ball out. That's that straight line of energy, because that is where the game is controlled. Now you go to basketball. I think if you have that point, someone who handles the ball, and then you have maybe a small forward or a strong or power forward, and then you have a big guy. That's straight line of energy right there. I think when you start getting too many guys who do the same thing, the energy starts going sideways. It starts going sideways. But as long as you have that straight line of energy, that basically goes to the point where everybody knows their role. Okay. So again, that's just me. All right. That's just me. I believe in that straight line of energy.
Well, I think
we're trying to get like Golden State Warriors, where you have Steph that can shoot the three, you have Clay that can shoot the three, you have all, so I think that's more along the lines, the mindset of where they were going with this. And like you said, I feel like they were trying to take more of it off of Trey so that he doesn't have to feel like he's the only one, because the Hawks already had different guys that can shoot. It's not that they were shooting threes at a very high level, but we did have guys that could shoot the three. So I think that we'll see how it works, but I think it's a good pickup for the Hawks. And, Todd, you have to go big when you want to get big players. You have to give up stuff, so that's the only way you bring in the greats.
And I'll say this again. We talked about it last week. They were third, or like in the top 5 in shooting threes. Why you need to go get somebody else to shoot threes? It don't make no sense to me. Then you mentioned the Golden State Warriors. I'm like, okay, do they all play the same position? You know, they're like in different positions. Am I correct? I'm like, you got help me out here. You got
Steph, Clay, Wiggins, Draymond Green.
well, you mentioned Steph, and then you mentioned
Clay.
Clay. Okay, so what position is Clay? Is he kind of like classified as?
Shooting guard.
Off guard, two guard. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so but again, my point. I understand. You know, I stick with it. I believe in it. I've seen it, but still, yet that straight line of energy, whether it's Clay or whether it's Steph, again, everybody has their role. That's the straight line energy that I'm trying to get everybody to understand. You can have multiple people. You can have two receivers. You had John Taylor and you had Jerry Rice. But you know what? Both great receivers. But that straight line of energy, we know that it's going to Jerry first, then to John Taylor, then to the tight end. That's a straight line of energy that I'm talking about. But when you got people that you don't know who you're going to get a ball to, when it get down to that point of who's going to take the last shot, they all knew it was going to be Michael Jordan. Or when LeBron, LeBron going to be the guy going to take the last shot. Most of the time, he would probably pass it up. But that's the straight line of energy that coaches want. That's the straight line of energy that I believe no matter what you do, it wins championships. And I think even with the Golden State Warriors, they have a straight line of energy, even though Clay is a 2. And, but again, straight line of energy. So that's just me.
Tyrone, did I such a little shade thrown at the king?
Oh no, sir. No, I'm just talking. I'm just talking from me. I'm just trying to make my point of straight line energy. Again, like I said, you can have people who do the same thing, but at some point, when you go to draw that straight line of energy, you start to point somewhere. When you draw a straight line on a piece of paper, you start to point somewhere, and then you move it to the next one. So my thing is, as long as the Hawks can understand who's going to take that final shot when it comes down to it, then you won't have no controversy. You only have controversy. Just think about Durant. You know, Durant, they had probably the best team when they had Durant, Clay. I'm like, come on now. But somewhere or another, that straight line of energy was like going all over the place. And now somebody got to go. I'm just saying, as long as you keep that straight line of energy, and that's why I think the Golden State Warriors work so well. They know that straight line of energy. So if the Hawks figure that out, they'll win.
I think the Hawks know that Trey's going to be the guy who's going to take the last shot. That goes without saying. But what you have now is that unlike before, I was reading this in an article that was on his blog, when Trey was pressured by the Miami Heat, there was really no other Hawk player that could really make his own shot off the dribble. Most of the Hawks players are catch and shoot guys. John's a great guy off the pick and roll, but he's not a guy that's going to make his own shot. He's not a guy that's going to dribble out of trouble. With now having a guy like DeJounte Murray, you now have a guy that basically is an adept dribbler as Trey. So if you try to put that kind of pressure on Trey, it's going to be a problem. The other thing, too, is as far as bringing the ball out, now you got a guy, I think he's around 6'4", 6'5". You can't clamp him down like a guy 6'1", 175 when you put that high pressure 2 or 3 man press. So I think, man, that the Hawks are trying to answer what they know they're going to have to face against the East, which teams like Boston and Miami that are great defensive teams put a lot of pressure on the point guard, on the ball handler. Now you got a second ball handler and a guy who can score off the dribble. That is really a big thing that the Hawks have been lacking outside of Trey. So, yeah, man, that's why I think it's going to be a good move for them. And now, I don't know if they can pull this off because this would be a miracle. But you know there's a guy out there that would like to play with Trey Young.
What's that?
Kevin Durant. So I'm just saying that would take John Collins and half the rest of the team to get him. But even if they don't get him, I think the Hawks are a better team today than they were before this offseason started. So that's what I'm thinking with this team. They're going to do some work.
And I make a joke about Kevin Durant. Shannon Sharpe put up a picture where he had, I don't know if anybody else saw this, but he had a picture of Kevin Durant running beside Usain Bolt. And he said Kevin Durant is a runner. He's a runner. He's like running away from, he's always running to the next team, or what have you. So it was a funny little picture. But yeah, he had Kevin Durant running beside Usain Bolt. He's a runner. So
yeah, no doubt, man. I mean, Kevin has shown that he likes to kind of go with the favorites. I mean, to some degree, I don't matter. I mean, he's up. I can't believe he's 34 now. I mean, so I guess he's thinking, look, I'm gonna go for them championship rings where I can get them. My career might be starting to be on the tail end after a while, so I gotta do what I gotta do. But like I said again, I'm big kudos to the Hawks. Before we get out of here and go to the break, what do you guys think about the trade for Rudy Gobert to seem like Minnesota gave up the whole house? What do you think about him in that trade?
Well,
Good
they
or
had
bad?
to give up the whole house to get Rudy Gobert. I mean, hello, he's defensive player of the year 3 times. I mean, come on, he's a great player. He's going to definitely play great defense. He's going to score on offense. He's a great presence. I mean, for you to get a player like him, yeah, they had to give up the whole house. And plus, it's Minnesota, which is a great place to be, but it's really cold and it's not as large of a market as LA or some other places. So I could see them giving up pretty much the house to get him. But I do think that it will definitely benefit them with what they already have. He's a great addition to any team.
What do you think about their ability to play with 2 big men, with Karl Anthony Towns and him now in that spot?
Well, first thing I thought about was Akeem the Dream, Elijah One, and Ralph Sampson. And they were able to put together, a little run with the Houston Rockets, but it don't guarantee you anything. Again, I truly believe in team ball, and basketball is, one of those sports that if you can get everybody, like you just said about the Hawks, somebody got to pick up the pace when it goes down. But hey, when you got 2 big men, they shouldn't be lacking when it comes to offensive and defensive rebounds.
And definitely on defense, because Rudy Gobert, former defensive player of the year, it's going to be tough to try to get any points in the paint against the Timberwolves. All right, guys, we're going to come back with more sports in just a second. We're going to get your motors running because we're going to talk a little NASCAR. But you got to keep it locked right here. We'll be right back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show.
Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our #1 priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net.
You definitely need a vehicles guy. Check them out. You can check me out. Give me a call directly. I'm a commercial account manager there. Give me a call at 678-364-3979. Our inventories are low, but we do have vehicles for you or your business if you need it. But speaking of vehicles, some of the fastest vehicles around will be right down the road from us here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. I have 2 gentlemen that are going to talk to us a little bit about NASCAR. One of them actually runs everything down at Atlanta Motor Speedway. I say that because he's the busiest man around, making sure everything runs smooth during race time, both during the race, but more importantly, before the race. He's going to talk to us a little bit about what he's got going on there, Mr. Tyler Head. And then we're bringing in Mr. Doug Allen, a guy who's a veteran of NASCAR coverage of over 25 years. So, gentlemen, welcome to our show. Tyler, you first, and Doug will bring you on in just a moment. Tyler, what's happening, man?
Oh, it's just exciting times down here in Hampton, Georgia, getting ready for another weekend full of racing.
So what do you got going on? Because we all know about the race. What do you guys got going on like before the race? You have any weekend events happening?
Well, we've got a lot going on. With this being a summer race and, families looking for vacation opportunities, we really wanted to bring the fun and the entertainment in a big way. So while NASCAR is going to take care of everybody when they have their cars on the track, we're going to take care of everybody when the cars are off the track. So we have this Revs and Riffs NASCAR Weekend Music Festival presented by FreightAuctions.com that's running in conjunction with the racing this weekend. That's going to have 10 acts of musical performances all throughout the weekend, including pre-race before Sunday. We're going to have Flo Rida performing. On Saturday, we're going to have rock band Candlebox performing before the Saturday race. And after the checkered flag falls, we're going to have Georgia's own Blackberry Smoke out in the Peach Pit presented by Dixie Vodka. And we're going to have a spattering of other regional and local bands performing inside and around the track all throughout the weekend, starting Friday night during camper appreciation party that we're going to have out here. So we've got a lot that goes along with that too. But that's just a little taste of what we've got in store.
What do you think about all this kind of almost like a family event going around on NASCAR on the weekend?
Yeah, I mean, we're really looking to make an atmosphere where everybody can come and have a good time. The Peach Pit presented by Dixie Vodka that I mentioned, that's really bringing the party back into the infield. So when you think of people who say, hey, it could be a raucous and rowdy time, that's where that's going to be. But at the same time, out by our family campgrounds, we're going to have a family movie night going on with complimentary snacks provided by Cheez It Puffed, and we're going to be showing the movie Cars. So everybody can sit out and enjoy that film on Saturday night if the Peach Pit party isn't quite their speed. So we've got both extremes and then a little bit of everything in between throughout the weekend.
You got a big smile out of the Queen Tree. What do you think about those events that are happening on the weekend?
Yeah, it sounds phenomenal. Sounds like the families are going to come out there and have a great time. I love that you're thinking about everybody, and it's something for everybody, no matter what it is that they like to do. Do you guys know around about how many people you're expecting to come out?
Oh, we're going to have tens of thousands of people filing into the track this weekend. And really, it starts tomorrow with the first campers will start loading into the track, and they'll be with us through Saturday night or Monday morning, depending on what their plans are. And we'll have the infield loading in on Thursday. And, of course, we'll be welcoming in thousands of people on Saturday for the Alsco Uniforms 250. And even more on Sunday for the Quaker State 400 presented by Walmart. So it's a big event. You know, we've got two really huge events that we host each year, and this is 2 of 2. Obviously, the March race being the first of 2.
I love it. I was just watching Fast and the Furious, and so hearing about how it's coming up, you know, watching when they're doing all the racing and everything. And so that's good. I hope a lot of other people are watching it too, and they can't wait to come and just go enjoy the festivities. I love what you guys are doing and just thinking about everybody to make it a family event. Yeah,
Fast and Furious, that's another flavor of automotive trickery, right? But with the changes that they made to the track and the racing that we saw in March with 46 lead changes amongst 20 drivers, it seems a lot more Fast and Furious these days.
Yeah.
No doubt. Tyrone, any questions for Tyler before we let him go? Because he's a busy man.
I tell you what, if you ain't first, you're last.
That's the thing. That's exactly it.
You're last. But no, I just remember when I took my son, we went to Atlanta Motor Speedway, and man, I enjoyed pit row. I'm like, you know, just to, you know, see those cars and hear those cars, you know, they warming them up, getting them ready. Man, that was phenomenal. But right now, I think Chase Elliott is leading in the point system. So could you explain to the fans, those who may not be familiar with NASCAR, how does the point system actually work?
Oh, boy, I don't know if we have enough time. You could go really far down that rabbit hole. But basically, we have 36 races for the season. And in the first 26 races, everybody's trying to make the playoffs by winning a race. Or if they've already done that, like Chase Elliott has a couple times so far this year, they're trying to win as many stages, win as many races, and collect as many points in each race as they can to try to win the regular season championship and carry what they call playoff points into those final 10 races when they'll actually decide the champion. So right now, Chase Elliott's leading the field in what they call those playoff points, which basically gives him a little bit of a mulligan as they go into the playoffs. It gives him a little bit of room for error to, you know, maybe have an off day or have something bad luck strike him and still be able to advance because of his performance throughout the rest of the year. So a lot of people in Georgia are fans of Chase Elliott. And if, you know, anybody counts themselves amongst that fold, you're happy to be a Chase Elliott fan right now, especially with the last couple races. He won Nashville and then came very close this past Sunday with a second place. We'll see if he gets his first win at his home track this weekend.
Well, Tyler, before you go, I'm going to bring another guy up onto the stage here, a guy that you know, I think you were on his podcast not too long ago. Doug Allen is in the building. Doug, welcome to the Real Talk Sports Show, sir.
Hey, you know, I don't know what else I can say because, you know, my buddy Tyler there has kind of summed up everything quite well.
Doug, you give me too much credit.
Well,
I'm going to ask you guys both. Go ahead, Doug.
Well, you know, I got to tell you, Tyler does a great job of promoting the track. And, you know, I'm just a radio guy who's a photographer, like, you know, radio guy like you. And watch this guy do this. And I've been doing it for 25 years. He's one of the best. And, you know, See, I'm sucking up to you. You know that, right?
I'm picking that up.
No, seriously, I can't wait to the race. The new track is amazing. The way it's working, as far as the race before the spring race was just amazing, and we're looking at 5 new winners this year so far. The season has started. Names that we never would have thought would have won races, and I can go through them, but time and I just look. It's a good thing Chase Elliott is finally winning races too, because where's the old guys in this? Where's the Kevin Harvicks? Where are they? Where Kyle Busch has won a race, so I don't know. Is it the time of the new guys or not?
Well, it sure seems like it's the time of the new guys. I mean, like you mentioned, we just had our 5th first-time winner this past weekend at Road America, and Tyler Reddick, who has been knocking on the door and finally busted it down. But like you said, there's a lot of big names who are looking for their first win of the season, and then there's a lot of up-and-coming drivers who have been knocking on the door. We have 5 first-time winners. With the way the racing is at Atlanta Motor Speedway right now, we could make it 6 this weekend.
Well, I'll tell you. It's a super speedway. It's Daytona. It's Talladega, but it's at Atlanta. And you hadn't quite said that yet, but you know how that track is. It's a super speedway, and the cars run like it is. It's great to see. It's great to see how the new cars have played in at these type of tracks. Here's a question for you. I think I asked this before. Tires. How much of a problem do you think the tires are going to be?
Well, if you asked me this a month and a half ago, obviously we saw a little bit of that in the March race here at Atlanta, and we've seen a bunch of it this season with the teams being aggressive with their setups and with their air pressures and stressing the tires, and also just an element of figuring out what you can get away with this car, right? But it seems like it's died down a little bit. It didn't seem like it was a big factor at Nashville in particular, so I'd be cautiously optimistic that tires are going to be less of a story this go round, and it's going to be more about what the people driving on those tires are doing.
You're always cautiously optimistic. Now, did you hear him? Okay, maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. I just can't wait to see these cars run this track again. And you were there last time. That's how we met Jonathan. And those cars, they run beautifully on this track.
Yeah, I think it was a big surprise, I think, for everybody, just the way they ran. And so I got a question on social media. For a while, it seemed like kind of NASCAR kind of had some bumps in the road, kind of a decline in attendance. Are you guys seeing an uptick now? Are you seeing people starting to come back? And if so, what's been the key?
Tyler?
Well, I would say that over the course of the year, we've seen some of the best crowds that we've enjoyed at a lot of the facilities. And, we would count ourselves amongst the fold in March. That was the best crowd that we'd had in 8 years, I believe was what our record showed. So I think a lot of that is there's been some rethinking of how we communicate the story of what's going on, what the drama on the track is, and what the appeal is of it, and doing a better job of telling that story. Of course, everything becomes easier when you have the kind of excitement and thrilling activity on the track like we've had this year. I mean, it's a lot easier to captivate people and, intrigue them by what they may see each week when it's unpredictable. There's a level of parity that we've had, 13 winners in 18 races. And, every week that you're tuning in, you're wondering what you're going to see next and still left wondering after you're done about the next week. So it's all coming together at the right time. This new car, new venues, changes to existing venues like ours. It's all adding up to a bit of a resurgence, I would say.
Now, Tree and Tyrone, you guys got to come down. You got to come down and see the race. Now, you nod your head there, man. You got to do it. So, yeah, all you got to do is call. Well, not me, but him. But look,
just let me know. We'll get you taken care of.
Okay.
Right. Well, Doug is saying I might get a couple extra passes for Tyrone to come on in there and get up close with us. If you can provide that, we'll make sure that Mr. Pool's in the business. Now, Tree, I know that you occasionally are outdoor lady with all that's going on. Should we put a pass aside for you so you can come on down and take a peek at the race, or you'll get back to me on that?
Yeah, no, I'm fine with outdoor stuff.
All right, there you go. Okay, so we'll try to work something out.
Well, I do have a question for either Tyler or Doug. What now for fans again? For those who are really not up to date with NASCAR, I know a little bit about NASCAR. I played with the Panthers. They in Charlotte. But what is the G-force that these drivers actually experience? What could you guys rate that to or compare that?
Well, you want to answer or me?
You take it. You take it, Doug. Physics isn't quite my thing. I got into communications, not.
Okay, the cars can pull 7 to 9 Gs depending on the turns and the banking on the tracks. So they take a lot of G forces in those cars, and it's amazing. That's why they got to stay in shape. So you think about that and the kind of G forces they take on that 7 to 9, boom, that's some force.
And I would just add to that, it's very sustained, and
Yeah.
it's endured over a long period of time. I mean,
There you go.
we're going to have a 400-mile race, which is the shorter of the two for us. It was 500 miles in March, but you're still talking about 2.5 to 3 hours of barreling into these 28-degree bank corners, where they're going to have very big loads and very high Gs. Every lap, every 30 seconds, they're doing that twice a lap for 2.5, 3 hours. It's something that, like Doug said, you absolutely have to be fit and in shape for, to keep your wits about you while you're trying to go fast.
And Tyler, I didn't tell you this, but I'm a photographer. I'm a track photographer, and I forgot to tell you how much more impressive it was shooting those cars at that speed on the track, especially out in those turns. So, well, sorry, I went off track there, but the G forces have made these cars amazing. So, we'll see.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap up this segment here. Tyler, before you go, how can people find out more about the race, website, social media, where they can be in tune for the big weekend?
For sure. Yeah. If you want to check out what we've got going on and consider coming on down to visit us, it's www.atlantamotorspeedway.com. And while you're here, or if you're watching from home, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I'm sure I've missed one. Just look for Atlanta Motor Speedway and you'll find us.
And don't forget about Spirit of Racing, okay? That's on there.
So hang on a second. So we'll let Tyler check out here. Tyler, appreciate you, man, for jumping in, because I know this week is like... So the fact that you jumped in on the broadcast with us and updated us, man, we appreciate it. And
happy to do it, and I look forward to seeing you this weekend.
Yes, sir. You too.
All right, Tyler.
Cool.
All right, Doug Allen, tell people how they can find out more about you and what you have going on with the Spirit of Racing website, social media, or link that you can do the podcast.
Oh well, Spirit of Racing is my podcast. It's also there's a website. There's a website out there also for it, but it's all going to change except for the podcast of Spirit of Racing. It's going to be going on different host sites and stuff like that. But Spirit of Racing, the podcast, is always going to be there. You've been on it. You're going to be coming on again, and you guys are always welcome to come on anytime you want. I'd love to have you on sometime.
No doubt, man. We look forward to it, man. We appreciate you jumping in, and good Lord willing, we'll see you this weekend.
Thank you, Doug.
Yeah, look. So are either of you guys going to come? I know Johnson's going to be there, but you guys, you got to come or not?
Hey, Doug. Hey, let's get in touch, man. Let's get in touch. I'll do it. Let me know. Seriously.
I have to check the schedule because I do have plans this weekend. But if I can come down, because I know it's about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hour drive for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll definitely check the schedule and see, because I would love to come.
You should say I got something better to do than see you guys run around.
Oh no, it's not that. Trust me, I'm a very busy person. But had I known, when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. But like I said, I definitely check the schedules to see, because if I can come, I would love to come. I saw pictures last time. A lot of my friends were there, and I was like, oh, that's like so much fun. So I actually do want to come. I've wanted to come since last season.
Well, that's how I met Jonathan, was last year. Well, we're not really sure whether we knew each other. Have we ever figured that out yet, Jonathan, whether we knew each other or not?
Yeah, so I think we first intersected when you were doing Fox Sports coverage. I think both at the Dome and some other spots as well. That's when we first kind of, met. So it was cool to kind of see you again, because I know I hadn't seen you since way before the pandemic. So it's way cool. And I had no idea that you were just a big racing guy. So it's just real cool, all factors. Look, man, we appreciate you coming on. And I now have my duty. Tyler said he's got it set up for the rest of the crew, so I'll make sure they have their passes and they get in there, because there's no question. Treat it on the head, Tyrone. You know about when you get near that pit, the sound and just the ferocity of what's going on is very intense.
don't forget the smells. I mean, there's nothing like smelling a racetrack. So
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, and Tyrone, you might run into some old friends, man, because one of the things that we talked about on the Spirit of Sports broadcast, that comes on monthly, guys, first Saturday of the month, 12 a.m. Shameless plug. That the NFL has been a nice feeder into some of the pit crews. You know, several
Right.
guys who have played in the league. Matter of fact, we had a young man right here from Decatur, went to Cedar Grove High School, and he's on the pit crew for, I think it's one of the two brothers. I can't believe I'm drawing a blank. Help me out there, Doug. You know the two,
the
the Bush brothers. He's actually one of
Yeah.
I think he's one of Kurt Busch's
Yeah, we
tire
talked about
carriers.
that.
Yep.
Now, Kurt Busch has the black-owned team. You know,
Yep.
I'm really happy with that. Bubba Wallace, the other driver, and you know, look those guys up. They're badass this year.
Yeah, and unfortunately, as you remember, actually Bubba was running second with literally less than half a mile to go, and somehow he got tied up with one of the other drivers, and I think he finished 25th overall. But I mean, I was right there behind the pits, and everybody was going bananas, and it looked like he was going to have a top 5 finish, and it all went to left because it is much more aggressive, much more fast racing now at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Yes, it's way faster. Totally right. So, but look,
Well,
I want Kurt. I was gonna say I want Kurt Busch to win every race because you know he's old like me and I've known him for 20 years. So why can't I just pull for him? I mean, I like Bubba Wallace, but you know, no, I want to see Kurt Busch win. I don't care if Bubba Wallace wrecks.
Well, at the end of the day, there's a lot of Kurt Busch fans, a stand-up guy. We don't want to see anybody wreck. We want to see anybody make it to the race in one piece if we can. But yeah, man, we appreciate you again. One more time, the name of your podcast so people can tune in because I know you're on every platform.
The Spirit of Racing podcast, where we just did an episode this week with Tyler, which was funny. So Spirit of Racing, you got to put in Doug Allen, Allan, not En, or it'll take us somewhere else. So look, thanks so much for having me on the podcast. Let's do it again, folks. It's a real pleasure to meet both of you. I sincerely mean that.
You as well.
And
thank you again for the invitation.
Anytime. I'd love to come back whenever you want me. You guys take care.
The man, Doug Allen from Spirit of Racing in the building. We appreciate him. And we'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show because, you know, it's time to talk a little football and some other things. And, we forgot. Big things going on up the road with the Bravos. We'll be right back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show. Don't go nowhere, please. Thank you.
Did you know that Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, Georgia also has Lincoln? Over 35 years of using the Vigil Touch to provide excellent customer service, works hand in hand with the Lincoln Motor Company to provide a luxurious and seamless way to acquire your next luxury vehicle. Lincoln has an array of full-service complimentary owner benefits. These benefits include hospitality partnerships, service pickup and delivery, all which can be accessed through the Lincoln Way app. You can even contact the 24/7 concierge to have someone assist you. Come and see our great inventory of new and pre-owned Lincolns today. Call 678-364-7345 to make an appointment with one of our brand champions or shop 24/7 online at allenvigillincoln.net. The day has arrived. It's time to let more people know about your business. You have the right marketing plan and the messaging in place. But do you have the right messenger? Good advertising and promotions need a professional sound so the message can be clearly understood. Don't leave your brand image to chance. Let our team of voiceover experts at CME lend you a hand. Give us a call at 678-304-8121 to find out how we can partner with you to give your business its voice.
We're back here. Real Talk Sports Show. I'm eventually going to get these marbles out of my mouth before the end of the broadcast. I'm here. The champion right next to me is Tyrone Poole, and right below Tree Doman, the queen, is in the building. Hey. All right, guys. The Bravos have been hot, and really the hometown heroes have been turning it up. Our man Dansby Swanson, Matt Olson, of course, the guy from right down the road from me with the big game time home run. As well from our Stockbridge High School. Great stuff going on. What do you guys think about the resurgence of the Atlanta Braves?
Yeah, I like what the Braves are doing, and like we talked about earlier, I can't help but to continue to emphasize that we mentioned, it's a long season, and Yes, a long season, and we just wait it out. But what I like about the Braves and where they are positioned right now, and right now they are 47-34, and the Mets 50-30, the New York Mets. So that means that the Bravos are 3.5 games behind the Mets. And the reason why I bring that up, this is the month of July, and July, if everything stay the same, July the 11th through July the 13th is going to be big, baby, because they got a 3-game set with the Mets here in Atlanta. So I'm telling you, that's going to be the shift could be right there with the Bravo takeover, possibly take over first place. So, I'm just happy with what the Bravos are doing, man. So kudos.
Treat, what are your thoughts about the Braves turning it up?
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's kind of like what Tyrone said when people were starting to get worried at the beginning of the season, and I wasn't, because there's a long season. So I think that they're in a great place right now. And, like I said, I was never worried. We know that we have a really good team here, and so we'll see what happens. Looking forward to it. But I think that the Braves are really a great team. So I don't see any reason to be worried or have concern at this point.
Yeah, let's go, Bravo.
Yeah, Braves are doing some work. And again, big shout out to our hometown heroes, especially, like I said, the guy right down the road, Michael Harris. This guy's like just a bolt of energy, speed, showing some power the other night. Braves hit back-to-back home runs to tie the game in the 9th inning. And this guy is really, if he continues to get the playing time, he could have a very good shot to be considered a rookie of the year. So, yeah, man, the Braves are just playing very exciting baseball. And keep in mind, Ronald Acuna really has not been at full strength for the most of the year. And they're doing this. Imagine what will happen as we get toward the second half when he can really kind of give you 100% for the second half of the season. Yeah, the Braves are going to be a tough out. I'm looking for them to back-to-back take another world title home back to Cobb County.
Looking good, man. Looking good. They put up, 6 runs last game against the Cardinals, and already they got 6 runs tonight, and they just at the bottom of the 4th. So, you get live results here on Real Talk Sports. Real results, real sports talk. But yeah, Ronald, Dansby, Matt, Austin, I'm like Eddie, man, Michael Harris, yeah, he balling. Man, yeah, go Braves, go Braves.
Yeah, as you mentioned, hung up a 5 spot in the first inning to put the Cardinals back on their heels at home. And yeah, it's we talk about NASCAR, but if you want must-see TV and really have a great time at a baseball game, I mean, what the Braves have got set up there in Cobb County, I mean, I know in the beginning there was some angst because the deal was kind of a little shaky, but that battery is just must-see TV. Yeah, I went there and covered, I think it was game 4 of the NLCS, and I was there for one of the games of the World Series. And what stunned me is that, I mean, literally, forget the stadium, going through the battery, you were walking like baby steps like this because you couldn't move. There were people everywhere. Tree, you would have flipped out. You'd have been like,
I wouldn't have gone.
There was no social distancing of any type because there was nowhere to go. And literally, I almost fell down, which is not necessarily hard for the preacher, but I almost fell down because when I looked down, what they had done was in the streets, they allowed people to set up blankets and chairs. And I looked down, there was somebody sitting there like they were in their house.
Oh, wow.
It was great. And literally, like every other block, they had set up these big, like 30 feet jumbotrons where you could watch the game. So, I mean, literally, you had 40-something thousand people in the stadium, but they estimated another 50,000 people were in the battery itself. Yeah, every restaurant, by the time about the 7th inning came, I saw them signs, no more beer. One place, no more food. It was incredible. See, I look for the Braves to take care of business again as they look for a back-to-back. And Tyrone will tell you, it's hard to go back-to-back, baby. But I think the Braves can do it.
It's hard to go back-to-back, but, because you're going to always get the opposition's best effort. But the thing that also makes it easy to go back-to-back, you did it the first time. So you got confidence you basically tell yourself, if we do what we do that we know to do, then can't nobody stop us. They didn't stop us last year. Then if we continue to do it, they won't be able to stop us this year. So that's why I believe winning back-to-back is hard, because the mentality drops off. You think just because you did it before, it's supposed to be automatic. But the great teams, the great players, they understand that, you know what, we got to keep the mindset. What's the old saying? Keep the pedal to the metal. So as long as the Braves keep doing that, yeah, you may be right, Jonathan. They may be sitting up there, and man, if they win a second one, can you imagine what that second ring is going to look like? Oh, goodness, man.
Look, I talked to a guy that bought the replica that I guess they had at the game. I guess it was $125 or something. He said, man, I'm going to tell you, he said, it doesn't have everything like the real ring. He said, but boy, he said, it sure does look good. He said, it doesn't even have to flip. Think about this. The top flip open. They've never had a ring
and it had
with
a
the top
light.
flip open.
The ring lights up.
That's what I'm saying. How can you outdo that? Because the ring's supposed to be better. How can you do what is it? I don't know. What can you do?
Next, they're gonna have spinning lights. I don't know.
You open it up, and a little small person gonna be singing. Da, 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 da.
That's funny, like a jewelry box where you open it and the ballerina goes around. You open theirs, yeah. That's
Tyrone, send that suggestion in. That dog might hump, but you send it in.
Yeah, that sounds good. Where it plays a song and you got the hand going. Okay.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick little 10-second break here, 15 seconds, and we'll come back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show, talk a little football. So don't go nowhere, please. Thank you, and thank you.
This is OJ Howard with Real Talk Sports.
What's up, guys? This is Tim Tebow. You're listening to Real Talk Sports.
This is Charles Woodson. Let me grab the mic. You ready? This is Charles Woodson with Real Talk Sports. Hey, it's your boy JB Smooth with Real Talk Sports.
All right, we're back here at the Real Talk Sports Show. So we're wrapping up here talking NFL. NFL news, we got some funny stuff at the beginning. Le'Veon Bell and Adrian Peterson agreed to square up in a boxing match. Sad news from the Baltimore Ravens. Starting linebacker Jalen Ferguson died from what they are saying is from a combination of fentanyl and cocaine. Very, very tragic situation there. Of course, the Watson hearings are about to conclude tomorrow. Possible 1-year suspension. So let's first talk about Le'Veon Bell and Adrian Peterson squaring off in the ring. Tyrone, now y'all see you swole up and you're still working out. Would you entertain like a exhibition match, either if they paid you enough or for charity or
even you think about charity, I go back to that Rocky movie where Hulk Hogan and Rocky was supposed to do they're doing a charity boxing match and man, that thing turned physical. It turned physical. Rocky like, man, what are you doing? What are you doing? But no, I boxing, I couldn't do it. I could do it. Anything else, maybe. But, when I look at some of these professional athletes that did go in and try boxing, I looked it up and I was surprised to a point. Well, Ed Jones, Too Tall Jones, Dallas Cowboy, defensive lineman, he did boxing. Lyle Alzado, he did a little bit of boxing. Frank Gore, I didn't know Frank Gore. There was a shocker right here. Like, Frank Gore, he tried boxing. And we all know about Mark Gastineau, the sack dance. He did it. And Alonzo Highsmith. And even Brandon Marshall had his little stint in boxing. So I guess it's something common that guys, want to do so. But I know as for me, I wouldn't do it.
Treat, what do you think about the idea of these NFL guys getting into boxing now? What do you think?
Hey, if that's whatever floats their boat. Not me. I tell you what, this one right here. No, I don't do boxing. People actually tried to get me to become a boxer. And they were like, oh my goodness, back when Layla Ali was boxing and she was doing really well. And I can box. Don't get me wrong. I like to go and hit, do the jabs. I got a nice jab, uppercut, all that. But you're not putting me in the ring with anybody. It's not happening. No.
Now I think what I would do instead of doing boxing now for a charity event, I do wrestling. I wouldn't do no boxing. I don't know about boxing.
I wouldn't do that either.
Yeah. Wrestling,
I'm good.
Now again, there's a lot of NFL players that went into wrestling. Bill Goldberg. Bill Goldberg, he's still wrestling. He was a football player. So I just say wrestling because I did wrestle. It's like amateur wrestling. It's not like the professional WWE wrestling. But I do know this: wrestling is choreographed. It's choreographed. Now you could say the same thing with the charity boxing, whatever, but I don't know. At some point, you got to make it look like you're hitting the dude. But wrestling, you can throw me off the ropes and you say, okay, I'm going to jump down. I'm going to dive down. I jump over you, run into the other rope, come back across, and you pick me up, and, then boom. I'm like, I could do that. But the boxing, I don't know. I do the wrestling.
See, I'm going to tell you something right now. Tyrone will let y'all know.
That type of wrestling. I got you.
Tyrone let you know he's a Georgia man. He didn't say, he said, well, I might let the boxer alone, but then he just let you know in the pure English that wrestling, I can wrestle somebody now. We can do that. Tyrone, so I'm into that. He said, that boxing, I don't know, but we're going to go. Hang on a second. Let's just see what Tyrone, Mr. Todd says, well, wrestling and NFL a lot alike, both scripted to a degree. Hey, I'll tell you something. I had a show where I said on the show, I'm getting irritated because the NFL is getting more and more like the WWE, man. It's just too much nonsense that's going on. So I'm with you, bro. There's some little shenanigans. But anyway, yeah, Frank Gore, you mentioned him. Frank Gore actually is, Tyrone, he's serious for real. He actually had his first pro fight, knocked the guy out thinking like 4 or 5 rounds. So Frank Gore, he's not playing. He's actually like, hey, I want to be a boxer for real. But yeah, so Le'Veon Bell against Adrian Peterson. All right, who you got? Tree, who you think's gonna win? The Adrian Peterson, the legendary running back from your Minnesota Vikings for a while, or Le'Veon, the stutter step into the hole man? Who you got?
I'm going with Adrian Peterson on this one. I think he's gonna come out with the W.
Tyrone, who you like? Le'Veon Bell?
Well, as I say, the tail of the tape. When it comes to boxing, it depends on, who has to reach, and that's why Tyson Fury is so hard to beat, because the dude reach is so long, you can't get into his body. So it depends on who has the longest reach. And if I'm thinking correctly, isn't Le'Veon Bell taller? Isn't he taller? So if he's taller,
I'm not sure. I thought it was the other way around. I thought Adrian was a little bit taller than him. I could be wrong. I thought Adrian was around 6'2", 6'3". We're gonna have to get the tail of the tape up here and see if I can grab that right quick.
Yeah.
But
tail of the tape.
I'm gonna lean toward Adrian, to be honest with you, Will. I think that he just got. Yeah, I think he's gonna get him. Yes, that's my pick.
Well, whoever has the longest reach, that's who I go with. Let's put it like that.
Yeah. There we go. All right, we do want to offer condolences, though, just for a serious moment here. Just a tragedy that no one expected. A guy that was on the come up, Baltimore Ravens, Jalen Ferguson, died. People were called. He was at home, and evidently, once they did the autopsy, they said they found both cocaine and this other drug, which is a known opioid painkiller. Just again, all we can do is just offer prayers and blessings to his family. And just, it's a shock because here's a guy, and Tyrone, you know all about this, when you really kind of trying to take your game to the next level, that Baltimore said the guy came into camp, he was fit, he was ready, he was lean. And so I hope and pray there's no foul play, but this doesn't seem right to me that a young man that was on this ascent would have this situation come up.
Well, it's always tragic. It's always tragic. You don't ever want to hear anything negative. All I can say is my condolences, to the family and all of his loved ones and friends. Yeah,
no doubt. So again, we're going to offer those condolences and hope and pray that there was no Nothing nefarious going on. But again, a young man on the ascent. Lost his life, age 26, linebacker for the Baltimore Ravens, Jalen Ferguson. All right, now we have another guy in some trouble here. Sean Watson's hearing's about over, and now they're rumbling around that the NFL might give him a 1-year suspension. So, two questions. One, if this thing gets settled with all of the individuals involved, do you think he still should get a 1-year suspension? And if you were Baker Mayfield and the Browns say, man, we need a quarterback, would you come on back or say, kick rocks?
I would say kick rocks, but that's just me. But I mean, honestly, he can't say kick rocks if he's still on the team. So if they trade him, yes, he can say kick rocks. If they don't trade him, he has to play. You don't have a choice. You signed a contract and you may not want to be there, but if that's where you are, you got to go out and play your best. Point, period, and blank. It's a business. It's your job, and you have to go out there and do your job as best as you can.
Tyrone Poole, your thoughts. First of all, you think he's going to get a whole year if everything kind of gets settled? And number two, if you were Baker Mayfield and the Browns said, could you help us out? Would you help him or say, kick rocks?
No, you know what? I help him out because right now Baker Mayfield's in the driver's seat. He's in the driver's seat. So if Baker Mayfield looking for them big dollars, he want that big dollar, this is his opportunity to get it. Okay, kind of Brown's going to give him any and everything that he needs. If he would tell them, I need a private jet to get from my house to practice every day, guess what? They're going to give it to him because they are in dire strait. They are in dire need. So Baker Mayfield, go out there and play your game. Here's an opportunity to get your name back. Get your name back. Try to make it as hard for them. Because Baker Mayfield already got some fans in Cleveland. So if he come back and he play a stellar season, you know what the fans going to start saying? Deshaun, we don't want him because he got all this whatever. They need to cut him and get that money to Baker Mayfield. He's turning into the quarterback that we want. So if Cleveland don't want him, then Baker Mayfield, he not only shows that he's a team player, but also he's going to go out and get paid. But also another question is, if Deshaun Watson does have to be if they just seat him down, set him down for a year, then I think Jimmy Garoppolo, that opens up a whole lot of interesting stories, for Jimmy Garoppolo as well. So, to be continued, man. It's a lot of little stories swirling in this little storm here.
You're talking about your boy Jimmy Garoppolo. Rumors out of San Francisco is the reason why Frisco has not pulled the trigger is that Trey Lance has been a little banged up and that they're not sure if he's going to be ready to take over the reins as quick as they thought. So, yeah, it's going to get this whole quarterback rotation, very interesting. Speaking of quarterback rotation, I'm going to play it right now. There's a guy that left this camp, and much as I had mixed feelings about him when he played, I think he's going to ball out in Indianapolis because he has a team very similar to what he had in 2012, a big-time running back, a decent defense, and an offensive line that's decent. So,
Matty Ice.
Matty Ice.
Don't try to get on his fan club now.
Get him.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
I'm just saying.
On a picture like that.
I'm just saying, you were the main one who wanted him gone, Jonathan. It was you. Oh, they need to get a quarterback. They need to get a quarterback. Matt Ryan can't throw the long ball. Matt Ryan, he's out of his prime. They need a new quarterback. That was you. So now that he's gone, what did I say? Time he left, I said, watch him go to the Indianapolis Colts, and the Atlanta fans are going to feel just like the Detroit fans because everybody was talking about our quarterback. Oh, it's the quarterback. We need a new quarterback. We need a new quarterback. Time he leaves Detroit Lions and goes out to LA Rams, what happens? He wins a championship. Obviously, it wasn't the quarterback, which is the same thing I was saying to my fellow Detroit Lion fans. And that's the same thing I was saying to you Atlanta fans. It's not the quarterback. So you guys will see. So I'm just saying, to hear you say that, I'm like, did you, of all people, say that? Like, you were the main one that wanted him gone. I just have to remind you of that. Okay.
We're going to put a picture. We're going to put a picture now. We're going to take that Shannon Sharp picture, and we're going to put Usain Bolt, Kevin Durant, and the minister running down the track, because right now the minister, he's a runner too. He's trying to run back. He's trying to run back.
Look, Tyrell, I think he forget that we be listening when he talk. He forgets sometimes. We gonna bring it up, Jonathan. We gonna remind you of what you used to say. I'm just saying.
Runner too.
Y'all can say what you want, but you play it back. What I said is what I said. I said Matt Ryan is near the end of his career. They had no ability to get an offensive line. I said you need a quarterback that can be somewhat mobile. The other thing I said, which is true, he doesn't throw the deep ball as good as I would like. I stand by those comments. But I'm also going to say the bottom line is now that he's with a team similar to what he had in 2012, he's going to be a big winner in Indianapolis. I mean, he couldn't win with the team we got now. That's not possible because of the team we have now and the way that Atlanta has been constructed. We can't find offensive linemen. So when you can't, you got to have a running quarterback. The other guy's a little mobile.
You want these running quarterbacks. You always want a running quarterback. What I want you to do, I want you to join a flag football league, and I want you to get out there, and I want you to play quarterback for just one game. And then then you'll change your mind about wanting a running quarterback. You have to protect your body. So yes, sometimes quarterbacks have to run to get out of situations. Any smart coach, GM, team owner, you do not want your quarterback running because you want to save his career and you want to save his life and his longevity on the team. Think about it. Running backs, they're always running. Their careers, typically, if they last 3 years in the NFL, it's a good thing, right? So you don't want your quarterback constantly running, and you just want your quarterback to throw in the pocket. So it amazes me every time you say that because you really like running quarterbacks. I don't. I want the quarterback to stand in the pocket and throw the ball so that he can actually be around for a long time.
That's the difference what Johnson just said. That's the difference between a running quarterback and a mobile quarterback, Jonathan.
Right. That's what I mean. That's why I want mobile.
That's a difference. Okay. Running quarterback is a difference between running and mobile. But let me ask you this. You said Matt Ryan could not throw the deep ball. What exactly in your definition, how many yards is a deep ball? Or what is a deep ball to you?
Good question.
Well, So I guess what it was is that when I would see Matt play, it seemed like he had a problem at times getting the ball out there and hitting guys, especially with Julio.
Let's get that right. Deep ball.
I'm thinking a deep ball is something around, I guess anything over 25 to 30 yards. I'll consider that a deep ball. 25 to 30 yards and up would be a deep ball for me.
Okay, so that leads me to my next question.
Yep.
How many teams that have won Super Bowls, how many times they throw the deep ball a game? In your estimate, how many times would you think they throw the deep ball?
In a game?
Yes, in a game.
Pick any game. I think about 3-4 times. I think they hit that in the game.
About 2 or 3 times. That's pretty much. Pretty much, if they're backed up, they're gonna try to throw a go route, or if they get a sudden change and they get the ball around the 50, they're gonna try to throw the deep ball. Other than that, all other routes. This is what I try to educate people on. All the routes in the NFL are from 0 to 20 yards out. That's why I try to tell the defensive backs. Everybody talk about the 40. No, as a defensive back, it's not about how fast you can run forward. It's about how fast can you change directions. How fast do you come out your break? Because again, all routes that you see throughout what is about 60 something snaps on the average, offensive snaps. Well, that's average. Probably about 70. I say 70. Okay. You're not going to see a ton of deep balls. Okay. All the routes are going to be thrown from 0 to 20 yards out. So Matt was good at that. He could do that. I just think, like you say, the offensive line. You know, just like Tree say, just like a running quarterback, your quarterback, you can't stay healthy staying on the ground. So I think if they would have fixed that offensive line, Matt Ryan still would have been productive.
Right. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, but they didn't. But I don't know what the problem was, but they could not seem to fix it. So I'm like, if you can't fix the offensive line, then you're going to have to make a change at quarterback to accommodate what you have. And even when Matt was here, I told you,
you build the team around a quarterback. You don't take the quarterback away.
Atlanta, for some reason, just couldn't do it. So I'm like, okay, if you can't do it, then you have to attack this differently. And the other thing, too, is I still go back to the same thing, which I told him. I said, hey, man, I'm not looking for you to run around like Michael Vick, but like to extend drives. We need you sometime to, hey, look, I got an opening where I can go and slide. I'm not looking to do what my man does in Baltimore. I'm taking people on head on, all that kind of stuff. I just need you to, like, if it's third down and 2, you get a little pressure, turn the corner, fall out, slide, give me a first down, or just move around a little bit in the pocket. Give me
there
some
you go
action.
again. But what I saw, Matt actually was a really good quarterback. He would hit the players right where the ball was thrown perfectly. Wide receivers, tight ends, they just weren't catching it. But I'm watching the game. I'm like, wow, that ball was perfect. They should have caught that ball. I've seen that so many times watching them. So I never felt like Matt was the problem. That was just me. So we'll see, because I called it time they changed him and he went to the Indianapolis Colts. I actually was the one to say that I think he's going to have a great season in Indianapolis. And now the Atlanta fans will see that Matt wasn't the problem. So I was the one that called that. So we'll see. But I'm glad you're jumping on the bandwagon. Welcome. Come aboard, Jonathan. Come aboard. I'm glad to see you join me.
And I will agree with Jonathan. You need a mobile quarterback, because there are going to be times where the offensive line does break down. I don't care how good your offensive line is.
Yeah.
I remember seeing games with the Dallas Cowboys. They had Troy Aikman back there. They had Larry Allen, who people would probably regard as one of the top offensive linemen. And even Larry Allen couldn't block the defensive lineman, but only a certain amount of time. So that's where, yes, that mobility comes in. You see like an Aaron Rodgers, you see what Josh Allen with Buffalo, and you see a Patrick Mahomes, how those guys now try to create more time and elude that defensive lineman, and then, try to find an open man. So yes, in a sense, you definitely got to be a mobile, but do you have to be a runner? No, I think people get caught up on that Michael Vick, and I think they still got hangovers with Michael Vick, and then you see Lamar Jackson, but offenses like that don't win championships, people. You need a quarterback that can sit back there in that pocket and throw the ball from the pocket. And what I mean by that, it allows the offense to play both sides of the field. But when you get a running quarterback, you're now designating that he's going to go one way or the other. And I'll close with this 10 seconds. That's why the run and shoot didn't work so effectively in the NFL, because you could dictate what the routes were going to be. Because whichever way the running back stepped and the quarterback opened up, it's telling you, if you know how to read the run and shoot, you know the routes that they're going to run. So again, but when you have a quarterback that can sit in that pocket, he can see both sides of the field. When you got a running quarterback, he runs to one side of the field, you shut the other side of the field off. So now we're only playing on one side of the field. That's why I believe you will never see, I won't say the word never, but it'd be tough for a running quarterback to win a Super Bowl. A mobile quarterback, yes, but a quarterback strictly running, no.
Well, I agree that you definitely want your quarterback to be mobile, where he's in the pocket, and if they're coming, he does a spin move and avoid the sack. Yeah, definitely. So I agree with that. I'm saying I don't agree with Jonathan where he's saying, running, because that's all Jonathan talks about is running quarterback. You want to see the running back core. Oh, and go score the first down and go do this and all this. So that's just what I disagree with, because again, I think about the health of the quarterback, and I just know how dangerous it is. And yes, take off when you need to, slide. Don't try to keep going and getting, 15 yards, get the first down, slide to protect yourself. So that's my point of view. I see you shaking your head, Jonathan.
Can I ask a question? It still kind of like centers around a lot of fouls, because we're talking football here. And maybe, the people that are watching probably chime in on this. But it's kind of like a general 360 talk about the NFL. We know that Gronkowski said that, he's basically shutting it down at the tight end position. Now, when everybody's talking about where does he rank, okay, we know we had Tony Gonzalez playing here in Atlanta. He also played with the Chiefs. You got Tony Gonzalez, you got Rod, you got Gronkowski, Shannon Sharp, Antonio Gates, Ozzie Newsome. Where does Gronkowski rank in you guys' mind? Is he better than Tony Gonzalez? Is he not as good as some of the tight ends that I mentioned, Ozzie Newsome, Antonio Gates? Antonio Gates was pretty good. What you guys think?
Trey, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I think Gronk is really good. I think he's definitely up there with his stats. And just, when he plays, that he's going to score. He's a go-to player. He had one of the highest records before he retired, and then he came out of retirement. And a lot of people are chattering that with his stats and different things that they think he'll be a future Pro Football Hall of Famer. So his stats on the field, I think, are really good. So yes, I do rank him up with the best of the best. Now, I saw Tony Gonzalez when he was here playing with the Atlanta Falcons. I did not see him playing out in the Kansas City Chiefs, but we know that he is a Pro Football Hall of Famer. And so we'll see. But I think I hated, and I was shocked when I heard that he retired. I didn't think he was going to retire. But when Gronk is out on the field, he's going to score. They're going to throw him the ball when they need to score, when they need to get a first down, they need to move the ball, move the chains. He's pretty much like money. So that's my opinion. I think he definitely ranks up at the top. What about you, Jonathan?
So I'll give my opinion. I want to give a shout out from my hometown, from my North Connecticut. Dennis Burrows says Lamar does both. Eventually will get a Super Bowl champion. We're going to see, brother, because he definitely have to improve his passing, because in postseason so far Lamar has not done too well. But as far as Gronk, yeah, the bottom line is, like we talk about all the time, the numbers are what they are. I mean, the guy's always been, he's been to the Pro Bowl, 8, 9, 10 times, something like that. I forget how many, but he's been to the Pro Bowl several times. He's got multiple rings, obviously, playing with the Patriots and Tom Brady. And usually when Tom had to get a play done, where he had to get a first down, had to get a key touchdown, Gronk was his guy. So at the end of the day, now, is he the best? I mean, a lot of guys, not outstanding tight ends in almost every era. I mean, look at a guy that set a record that was recently broken by Pitts here, but he did, I think, in only 12 or 14 games. Mike Ditka basically kind of came in and really kind of set the pattern. Him and John Mackey back in the 60s of being a tight end that was just guys up grunt blocking, but guys that could actually change the tenure of the game by making big plays in the passing game. And these guys, they basically revolutionized the position. Look at a guy like Shannon Sharp, who was kind of almost the beginning of that hybrid, tight end / receiver, a guy that could just eat you up as a receiver, but was big enough and strong enough to play in that tight end position. I mean, there's a lot of guys. Antonio Gates had a 5 or 6 year run where he was dominant in San Diego. There's a lot of guys. And Tony Gonzalez, I mean, that guy, especially we saw him in Atlanta when he was really on the back end of his prime. When he was in Kansas City, that guy was unstoppable. It's just there's been a lot of great guys in the tight end position, but Gronk, he doesn't have to duck his head against any of those guys. I think eventually will be in the NFL Hall of Fame based on the numbers he's done and a number of titles that he's won with the Patriots and with Bill Belichick. And even with Tom Brady again in Tampa Bay. Here's a guy that's talking, I'm at the house. Gronk was at the house. He was trying to do anything. Tom said, come on, man. Come on back. So, yeah, he's definitely one of the best. Speaking of one of the best, oh, my gosh. Go ahead, Tree. You got the last word.
Oh, I was going to say, what do you think, Tyrone?
You know what? I think he ranks right up there. I think Tony Gonzalez, is Tony could block and he could run routes. Rod was big enough. I don't think they really used him too much with block, but I think Tony Gonzalez was a complete player. Just like when I talk about defensive backs, I think Rod Wilson is the best ever to play in the secondary. Rod could play inside, outside, and he showed in his latter career he could play safety. So I think Tony Gonzalez is number one. Now, I say this in closing too. If you ever want to see a funny clip, if you want to laugh, if you truly want to laugh, go and Google the conversation or the debate between Tony Gonzalez and Shannon Sharp. Oh, man, that thing had me laughing every time. Boy, Shannon, I don't know, Shannon just, when it comes to Tony Gonzalez, Shannon, boy, he takes on a different color, man.
Well, I can't imagine those two guys. Because Tony, we find he likes to talk too. So I can't imagine them two guys going at it for sure. It should be some great stuff. So again, it's Google up Between the Conversation, Shannon Sharp, and Tony Gonzalez. Must see TV. Well, we thank you guys who have joined us again on the Roku Network. We're glad to be back on there. We had some issues before, but we're back. Thank you, everybody watching on Facebook. Big shout out to the hometown Dennis Burrows, known guy for many decades. We old. But anyway, appreciate him and appreciate everybody else who's been watching the broadcast. All right, guys, you know how we do it. before we let everybody go, we want to let people know they can find out more about you. So, Mr. Tyrone Poole, the floor is yours.
Yeah, appreciate it, Jonathan. Thank you, and always a pleasure. The Queen Tree. You can always find me at Tyrone Poole 38, all social media, and also go to workthatthing.com. Okay, if you want to get the best nutritional supplements, because I know what I'm doing. Because for 12 years, my body was my business. So now I want your body to be my business. So go check out workthatthing.com.
Woo woo! Go Tyrone!
All right.
So I want y'all see right there, right quick. See that physique? That's what you get when you work that thing, baby. Tyrone Poole.
I got it up. Okay, I see he came out with the guns.
Yeah, the guns. That's what I'm telling you, baby. So y'all check up. Listen, guys, really, if you really want
Hey, that's work that thing. That's what work that thing does. That's what it does.
And that avoids yours looking like this.
I got a little something. My muscle used to be really large. I haven't worked that thing in a while though, but look at it. It's a little something.
Yeah. That's how you spin that
club. The shirt on. I can't even go with the bear shirt. I can't even let y'all see this. But you know what though?
I see a lot of sad.
No, the OG about to come back because I'm gonna work that thing. Tyrone Poole, appreciate you, bro.
All right, guys. Thank you.
All right, Miss Tree Doman, the floor is yours. Oh, there we go.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for watching Real Talk Sports. You can find me on all social media at It's Latresa, as well as Ms. America International 2022.
2022, 3-time champion. That's what I'm talking about. Tree Doman in the building. All right, guys. So you know me. Yep, I'm actually a real life minister. Praise the Lord. First of all, follow the show, please, at Real Talk Sports 7. You actually can follow me personally at Minister J Sim. Also, if you have a great anything going on great in the world of sports, especially if you have a coach, parent, even a player that's doing some good stuff both on and off the field or off the court, please hit me up. Send me an email, jsimmons@realtalksports.net, or simply give me a call on the cell 678-410-9833. Well, before I go, I have to ask you, do you know the Lord? If you tell me no, I'm going to say to you, please, man, please, sir, get to know him today. That's right. Get to know Jesus Christ, because why? First of all, he loves you. He made you and he died for you. But here's the big good news. If you repent of your sins and believe that he died for you and he was risen from the dead, bam, 2 great things happen. Number 1, you become a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. And number 2, you become an adopted child of God with all the rights therein. What does that mean? You now can go to God, the creator of the entire universe, and call him like your dad. And anything that you need and desire, according to his will, he'll grant it unto you. And then number 2, if and when you die, you go to that wonderful place called heaven, where there's none of the following: no pandemic, no protest, no bad people, no politics. You never get old, you never die. Every building is beautiful because ordained with just the most beautiful jewels you can think of. Even the streets are paved with gold that's so pure it's translucent. And you get to hang out with all the people that have gone on before you that you love so much, and you get to see God face to face. So you can ask him all them hard questions that you couldn't get answers for beyond the earth. And you avoid that nasty place called hell. All the things that are in heaven won't be in hell. So it's going to be painful. It's going to be dark. It's going to be dreary. Most of all, you'll be cut off from all the people in heaven forever and a day. I don't know about you, but like option number 1 instead of option number 2. All right, guys. Until next time, when you see us again, we say God bless you and have a wonderful rest of your day. So long now.